The introduction is the first paragraph of your essay, and its goal is to set your reader up to understand your argument. There are 3 main sections plus a transition. In your hook, you'll capture the reader's attention and give them clues about the side that you're taking in the topic. The context section will make sure that your reader has enough background to really understand your argument. What's the debate that's going on? What does the reader need to know? Is something changing in society, or what's making this topic relevant? What are the different sides? What are the perspectives? Don't get specific. Don't start making your arguments. Keep this really big picture. We'll look at this in the next video. And finally, you're going to be able to transition if you need to from the general background to your specific claim. And in your claim statement, you're going to state your position and give a roadmap to readers of where you plan to go in your argument. You've already written this claim statement. It should be at the top of your graphic organizer. The hook is the first few sentences of your introduction, and its goal is to get your reader's attention, but also to give them a clue about what side you're going to take and what your topic is. Here's 5 different ideas for hooks. We'll go through each of them with some examples. There are more than 5, and you'll see that most of the hooks are actually a combination of several of these, like a startling statistic that's asked as a question. The first method is to use a startling or surprising statistic or an interesting fact to get your reader's attention, like these. 50 billion, that's how many plastic water bottles Americans buy per year. Or globally, humans buy 1 million water bottles per minute. Both of those facts would make you say, wow, tell me more. Please note that when you're using a statistic or a fact as a hook, you do not need to cite your source because you're not using it as evidence, you're just using it to grab someone's attention. So no sources are used in your introduction at all. A second technique is to use a colorful quote or cultural reference. There aren't really any notable people in the water bottle business. You might not recognize them. I don't think this is a very good quote for this essay, but it gives you an example. You could say, Abraham Lincoln once said, "You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today." I'm trying here to get at the idea that using plastic water bottles is kind of irresponsible because the future of our planet is going to be harmed by all the water bottles that we're using. And I know that everyone would know Abraham Lincoln. Or you could have sort of a cultural reference like this. Move over Cola Wars. It's no longer Coke versus Pepsi. Now it's Dasani versus Aquafina. Bottled water is big business. You could use your narrative skills to create a scene or to tell a personal anecdote. Water here, fresh cold water, the vendor yelled. Whether you're at the ballpark or at the beach, whenever you're hot and sweaty, there's nothing like a single serving of pure water delivered to your seat or blanket. But what's the cost of this privilege? It's much more than the $2 cost of the beverage. This hook takes much longer because you're trying to set up a scene, and then it combines asking a question and making a statement as well. Now it's your turn. In your notebook, use one or more of these techniques to jot down a couple of hooks for your introductory paragraph. When you've got a couple written down, resume the video for a couple more techniques. Another technique is to begin with a single word, hydration, and then go on to either define that word or explain how it's important to your essay as a concept word. Health-conscious Americans are more aware than ever of the importance of pure, fresh water to maintaining a healthy lifestyle. We are carrying bottled water everywhere we go these days. It's important to note, what kind of idea am I getting about this? Is this going to be a pro-bottled water essay or an essay in favor of banning water bottles? Your hook needs to match the position you're taking in your paper. The last on our list is to ask an intriguing question, something that makes you curious or makes your reader think in a new way. Something like, would you pay $1.79 for something you could get for free? Again, you should expect your readers to answer in a way that's consistent with the side you're taking. You're expecting people here to say, no way, I wouldn't do that. You probably wouldn't ask this question to start an essay if you're in favor of keeping water bottles. This one signals that you're likely to be against them. Finally, for any of these, remember you shouldn't use any fact or statistic or quote that you're going to use later in the essay as evidence. Save those for the body paragraphs. And because you're not using them as evidence here in your hook is just to get the reader's attention, you don't need to cite your sources. There shouldn't be any sources mentioned in your introduction at all. Pause here before you end the video. Write a couple more hooks in your notebook for your essay. Try the last two techniques, or combine some of the techniques, like working a startling statistic into your intriguing question. When you're done with 2 hooks in your notebook, go back to the Schoology page and watch the next video. You're ready to move on to the next part of the introduction.